Hey everybody, thought I'd get another update. So I've got just the MCUs kind of sitting on my bench with the simulator and everything, and you can see it's just on my oscilloscope over here running real steady. Gonna look at the little editor. It looks a lot better than the last time I made a video about this on YouTube. So you can see this is the inputs tab where you can input your map sensor, crank sensor, all your other sensors. And then now you get a pin overlay that shows you the pin on the actual black pill that's on my bench over there, and the selected input or output. You can see it's kind of all over here, and this will jump to the specific section. Then if you go to the engine tab, you've got your crank position, cam position, where you set what manifold, the absolute pressure sensor you want to use. Also where you set stuff like your cylinder air mass calculation. Right now it's set to speed density. And then you've got your volumetric efficiency. And this is the real big thing that I've added since the last time, other than just making everything more polished. And so from here you can actually edit the formula. So if I wanted to add a whole other table on here to say multiply this by voltage compensation or something, I can just type this in there. You see that I got another parameter right here, and I can say, okay, this is going to be a lookup table. And then you can see back here it opens up like this, so I can pull up the edit table, and I can say, okay, I want this to be 10 lines long, and I can say from let's say 6 volts to 26 volts or something. And then I can select from here to here and interpolate it. And I can say, over here I want 1.1, and over here I want 1. This is not really something realistic you'd want to do, but it definitely is something you can do, and you can see how powerful a tool like this is. And then so this top axis, since we said this is voltage compensation, we'll just go ahead and make this the battery voltage. So there you have a whole new table that just added that didn't exist before, and now that's going to be multiplied on your volumetric efficiency. So that's really neat that I got that going. If I go to the fuel tab, you'll see that like my injector enable is a whole formula, and if it's the RPM is greater than 40, then it's going to enable the injectors. And you can do a similar thing and that with a maximum RPM limit if you wanted to do fuel cut limiter. You got other things like your injector flow rates, dead time. See the dead time, I actually have it set up as a formula, so the base is 0.45 milliseconds of base dead time, and then a voltage compensation table that looks like something like this. So this is actually something that you would want to do because your dead time is going to change on your injectors depending on the voltage that the vehicle has. Then you can see the injector output. So each one of your injector outputs, you can set the exact TDC for each of those injectors, and you can set what pin you want them to be put on. And then if we go to the ignition, you see the same exact ignition outputs kind of table thing right here. And if we actually go back to the inputs for the pin overlay, you can actually see those are listed on here too. And they can all be changed from here, and you can see you have certain ones grayed out, like you can't select these sensors for this pin because those need to be on analog pins, and the only analog pins are over here. So that's something that's kind of neat. You got some validation in there. And then, of course, you've got your other tables, and you can set these up as formulas too. And so right now, the ignition advance is 2-axis table, but I could change this to a formula. And the other cool thing I've done, I guess since the last time I made a video, is I really polished up the 2D table editor. So now you can see I've got the colors in here, I've got the axis and everything, and then I've even got a 3D graph up here that has all the axis labels, and I can rotate this around. Let me exit out of this real quick so it's nice and quick. Yeah, you can see this is nice and smooth, even with a big table like this. And this is all inside this dialog right here. So yeah, that's really cool. The other thing I've done is you can now burn the binary straight into the MCU straight from the GUI, and you can also connect to it. And when you connect to it, you can see, boom, I have live updating values of the voltage and the pressure for each of these pins, all these calculations. So like the volumetric efficiency right now is showing values from 0 to 1, but I can change this to show percentage, so 77% would be the calculated. If I open up this, you can see now there's a trailing kind of live value update for this, which is really neat. And so you can see all of these have live values updating right next to them. So your injector pulse width, everything else. So really the only thing left I have left to do is to kind of do some validation checks to make sure that everything's set up right, the user's not missing anything. Also need to do logging, which is a big next step, is to get logging done on this GUI so you can actually do some tuning with it. And there's a few other things, just some polish stuff, fixing bugs, just running through all the different test cases to make sure that the user has a good experience. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks.